Hello everyone, this video will be about Yunchan Lim and his 12 Etudes Transcendant. So I had a look at how many views it got since his beginning, and there's like a classification. His most viewed video is 18 million, the Rach 3, and I think it's the original one. Then actually, surprisingly, it's his Mozart Concerto number 22 from the competition 2, and then it's his 12 Etudes from Liszt semi-final, which I watched at that time. I remember it's already 3 years ago, and time flies. I have a feeling it's yesterday. So as everyone, I was shocked or passionate about this performance, and I think that's what made Yunchan Lim famous, because it's one thing to play 12 Liszt Etudes, it's already a big challenge. It's another thing to play them all together, because you have to prepare them all at the same time. They have to be ready at the same level. I mean, it's easier to prepare 3 or 4 and perform them in a concert or recording, but it's very difficult to be constantly practicing all of them at the same time and having them at the same level. It's a huge work. Then it's another challenge to play this live, because I mean, preparing them all together, yeah, of course it's difficult. Playing them live is difficult. Recording would be easier because you have different takes, right? So playing them live is really difficult. It's a lot of pressure. It's like a small marathon. You get tired after, I would say after number 4 already, you get tired and you have to go on. It's only the first third. And then the absolute challenge and stress is to play this in a competition. So that's what Yunchan Lim did, and I think that's why it's so special and so amazing, because we had like Berezovsky, who was famous playing them in La Roque d'Enterron years ago. He played them in an absolutely crazy way, and he became famous for this. There Chamayou, one of my favorite French pianists, who recorded them live in Lyon, and the CD was coming out for Sony. That was also like a kind of performance, like recording it live and have it on a CD, sounding perfect. Now maybe on this kind of recordings they did some adjustment at the end, so they re-record at the end of the concert and made some patches where there were like some small mistakes or stuff that he was not happy with, but could also be that he actually just did one take. But then at the competition and record it and live on YouTube, I mean, I don't think you can have more pressure than this. Like, that's the absolute highest pressure. Already competition are a higher pressure than a concert, because you know there's a jury, it's all top pianists who knows exactly what you are doing, who hears every little thing you are doing right or wrong. And then you have the pressure, of course, of competing next to other fantastic pianists, and mostly there are a lot. Like in competition like this, or Chopin competitions are like 300 or I don't know 3,000 application or something. So it's a lot, and everyone is exceptional, and it's a bit luck also, most competition, because when everyone is exceptional, it's difficult. You just happen to match a taste of the jury, and that's why you come in the final, or that's why you end up number 1. It's not always like very clear, this pianist comes out, he's exceptional. But with Yunchan Lim, I think it's one of the moments in history where it was very clear, probably since the beginning, who was going to win this competition, because he's an exceptional talent. And by the way, I'm not the only one saying, I mean, you can see the views, you can see the enthusiasm about it, but Christian Zimmermann said, apparently listening to his Chopin Etude recording, which is exceptional too, that he was something like a talent of the century or 1,000 years. He said something like this. So he was coming from Christian Zimmermann, who is a perfectionist and an amazing pianist too. I think it's probably the highest compliment you can get. And also not being involved in the competition, right? So it's not someone who judged him and who had this memory of having seen him in the competition. It's someone external who probably discovered later Yunchan Lim. Yeah, so I choose the Etudes of Liszt, but actually the thing with Yunchan Lim also that I want to mention is he seems to be exceptional at everything, which is also something exceptional. Because you have pianists like fantastic pianists who are very good in Liszt and Chopin and Rachmaninoff and this kind of repertoire, and they don't play a lot of Bach or Mozart, because that's not really what they are good at. But Yunchan Lim is, I mean, you listen to his Mozart piano concerto and his Mozart sonata from the competition. It's just fantastic too. And then he recorded later the Goldberg variation in Carnegie Hall, and that's just probably, I think, the best version ever. I would even argue it's better than the Glenn Gould version. No, it's not as unique and first time as Glenn Gould did, but it's for sure, after having so many people recording the Goldberg variation, being able to record it live at the biggest concert hall on the world, and having it still making something new out of it, and something not only new but fantastic. It's again an incredible achievement. And then what I wanted to say is, like, being able to play as well Bach as Liszt, as Rachmaninoff, as Mozart. Didn't hear him. Yeah, he played Beethoven piano concerto too. Also, like. So what's exceptional? I wanted to take this Etude number 5 of Liszt as example, and commenting a bit on how he's playing this. So the thing also is, he's coming from Mazeppa and going to Feux Follets is a tricky thing, right? You just finish on a peak of adrenaline at the end of Mazeppa, and I mean, I would need probably 10 minutes rest in between to be able to be calm enough to continue Feux Follets, which is a much calmer and fine etude than Mazeppa, who is a heavy, loud etude, right? And he seems to go from one to the other with no problem at all. Like. So practicing, like for the Liszt etude, you need a lot of practice, right? It's like, I mean, I would say like 4 hours a day minimum, and intent, like very concentrated focus, learning the etudes, repeating them, letting them rest, come back to it, practice difficult passage, practice tone, sound, phrasing, and all that stuff. Like it's easy to get to lose motivation. I have a lot of people saying me, how do you keep motivated? And one of the ways to stay motivated is to use an app, for example, to track your time. It's proven scientifically for sport and for music that if you track your time, you see your statistics, your motivation, it's easier to stay motivated. I have students who use the app, who track the time. They can see how long they practice each pieces. They can take pieces back and keep practicing and see the progress they make. They can see their average week, month, and year practice, and they can see if they get more consistent. Also, the fact that you track it motivates to push it a bit longer, because you want to break your own records, or how much you practice in a week, for example. Then you tend to see some weeks are a bit low, and then you get motivation to practice a bit more the weeks after. You can actually also record yourself in the app. There is an advanced record feature. You can add some reverb so that it sounds nicer, because sometimes in a small room it's a bit dry. You can cut your recording, like you can trim the beginning and the end, so you have just the piece you want to listen at. It's important to record yourself, listen to how you play, and then practice it, and then record again, see if you made improvements. If you want to make a recording, it's also important to record yourself before, to practice the recording, and then when you have a nice version, you're ready to record, right? You can also soon, you can share the pieces with other people. People can comment on the piece, or teachers will be able to comment on the piece. That's a feature that's coming later. For people who still have problems with rhythm and reading notes, there is exercise in the app for this too. So download the app. There is a free version with advertisement. There's a premium version where you have more stuff. It's starting at $7 a month. It's evolving a lot. Yeah, like download, link is in description, download the app, and let me know if you have any suggestion for the app. I will read your comments. Just cleans his face, put his tissue back, and let's go. Doesn't seem to sweat anything. First thing already that fascinates me with his playing, it's fascinating to watch. He has this very special contact with the keyboard that actually not many pianists has. Christian Zimmermann has this also kind of special contact with the keyboard, where you can see the movements that have influenced the sound and shaped the phrase and everything. Yunchan Lim has this kind of intense playing every note. It's like, and seems intense and relaxed at the same time. I don't know how he managed this. So he's like caring for every note, or on like how much weight he puts on it, how he articulates it. He's phrasing everything. Like just this beginning there, he's making this wave up and down, ending very soft, and then you can see every finger is precise and pearl, like perlé in French. There also he makes a progression. He makes it the next one a bit louder, a bit coming from further. This one he made bright, shorter, less loud. So in everything he's doing, he's making progression, and he has this control of sound going from doing stages in controls of sound, which is just amazing because there is nothing special happening there. The piece didn't even begin, it's an introduction, right? So and then in this, that's actually the main thing of the etude is this part, and yeah, it's not the fastest version ever because you have like Katia Boumyatishvili, for example, who plays it a bit more crazy, a bit more risk-taking and faster than this part, right? He's playing it very relaxed, actually, like it's written in the score, because there's written there in the score, I think something like not too fast and relaxed, something like this, right? I don't remember exactly, but that's the spirit. So Liszt didn't want it to be crazy there. He wants it to be a soft, like small flames coming, but not being crazy yet, like just appearing. And you can see also many things there, like he's also again phrasing every, he's doing this progression, this kind of crescendo here. Yeah, I cannot play it as fast as he does, but, and it's completely relaxed. You can hear the balance of two notes is like perfectly done. He's controlling this melodic line of the upper finger, and the lower finger is not disappearing. So this part here is not disappearing, and this is clear and legato, and same. This part here is super legato going up and the crescendo going down. When he's doing it the second time, it's a bit different. And when he's this part here, it's like super legato and nice and fun. Like and it sounds completely relaxed, which is probably the places where you are the less relaxed if you practice this kind of piece. So in there, he's accelerating, and most of people would lose control at the end there because it's just getting too fast. It's like getting out of control, or it would be on the limit of, you would feel, Horowitz does this very often. He pushed stuff to the limit where he would almost lose control, and you can hear it, and that's very exciting. Yunchan Lim is doing this too, but he's not losing control. That's just incredible. And then this left hand, he's doing this like this bass super precise. I forgot how it is. So it's like this bass who is doing precisely staccato, which is very difficult because you have no time there. You're just jumping and going back. So it's even carrying of this for the sound of this bass, staccato bass. Sounds fantastic. And then he's doing this kind of crescendo, which is again something new happening. So that's also the key of a good pianist, I think. It's at every moment something is happening, and that's very difficult to do because when you practice a piece very long, it gets a bit in your system, and you tend to be less careful about details because it's just such a habit to play it, right? So you play it a bit through so it's very difficult to keep this like freshness and like you just discovered the piece at such a level. So this also, so yeah, this part here, it's also a very tricky part, and there he's like really, you have this bass coming out, he's powering this bass, I would tend to be a bit careful there, start a bit slow. He's just like going into it and through it, and then you have this other part here. That's tricky. Just adjust these octaves here to have this like smooth and clear, and not having the octave stopping your line all the time. Something he's doing very well. So maybe just one little thing I thought doesn't sound so great is when he has this one here. See, I struggle with this left hand to have it really sounding great, and there he was not very like this didn't come out perfectly. The second time it did actually. So, but there's like the notes were there, the rhythm is correct, the intonation. I mean, everything is good. Like it lacked 2% of precisions there, which happens in concerts all the time. Most of the time even worse than this, and there it actually was quite fine. But that maybe if I had to find one little minus points to not be too optimistic about it, maybe that's one of the things I could say, but yeah. So that's also one of the very difficult places, because you have, and then you have like, so it's not, that's easy, because it's 4 notes going down, but here it gets like, yeah. So it's not these 4 notes going down anymore, it's like, you have this like twist in the notes, and it's quite difficult to get smooth and going through. It sounds like effortless when he's playing it. And there actually, he says, but it's also a tricky passage, like it's the same as it's quite difficult to have this melody with the little fingers fast and precise, and he seems to have fun when he's doing it. There's another place that's actually also tricky, and he's speeding this up, he's getting faster there. It's a lot of jumps and tricky stuff, and he's like speeding up and having fun there. It's like quite amazing. So again, he did this like huge crescendo, like it's speeding up, getting more intense, increasing the intensity, and ending with this octave bass. Like it's like I said before with Horowitz, like it's pushing the wrist to the limits. Horowitz tended to starting making wrong notes then at this point, and he actually keeps the precision and clarity until the end. Like it's very impressive, because it's very difficult to do, right? And in concert with some stress and adrenaline, you tend to slightly miss these passages sometimes, and he's not missing it the slightest way. It's like staying precise and impressive. This is a nice one. Like this kind of staccato, funny way. So there it could have been closer to the keys. But he decides to make it more dramatic and articulate it quite strongly, which makes it again a bit more risky and sounding really nice. crisp, this very crisp way of playing the left chord. Well, it's also very, I would tend to play them a bit softer just to end the piece, and it's also easier. He's making it less easier, taking more risk and managing it. That is basically it. And then yeah, again, like so it's already very complicated to play such an etude in such a level in concert, but he's playing all 12 of these. And then the other amazing thing is he's so young. He's, I think they're 18 or 17. So I was wondering, when did he practice all these things, right? Because it would need years to practice all the Liszt etudes and get it on such a level and being relaxed playing them in concerts. You would need like concert experience. You would need some years to have memorized them, then let them rest for a while and come back to it later. So I think it would need like maybe 5 years to do something like this. And if he's 17 and he starts when he's 12, which is possible, but it's very early for the etudes, right? But all this stuff that makes it just exceptional. And it's one of the strongest, because I'm not such a fan of a lot of Liszt etudes versions. Like I like Berezovsky, Cifra, Ovshinnikov, the Russian guy. Yeah, there are like versions I don't like so much. Ahau, I'm not such a fan. Alissa Haot is a very musical version I like too. So, and all the other basically I don't really like so much for different reasons. But that's one of the versions I really, probably the best version of the Liszt etudes, because of its power, strength, and precision, and effortless. Because also like the Berezovsky version is amazing, but it's a bit dirty. There's a lot of mistakes, a lot of stuff that doesn't come out so great. So it's a very spontaneous version, very fast and exciting version, but it's not as precise as this one. So yeah, like it's like exceptional version of the Liszt etudes. Listen to his Bach Goldberg variation. It's a whole different world, and it's again fascinating to listen at the amount of detail and ornaments he's doing and changing. I will make a video on the Bach too, actually, because it's very fascinating to listen. Hope you enjoyed. See you next video.